So how does someone go from repairing radio circuits back in the 70s to navigating the AI frontier today? Well, we're about to find out. We're going to take a look at the career of Rick Wallace, a true serial early adopter of technology who has pretty much spent decades just embracing change.
And this quote, it really gets to the core idea that drives his entire career. From analog radio all the way to AI, the goal has always been the same. Don't just use technology for the sake of it, use it to make things better. We can really break down his whole journey into 3 distinct acts. First up, the technician. That's where he built all his foundational skills. Then, the leader and entrepreneur, where he applied those skills on a massive corporate scale and then completely pivoted to help small businesses. And finally, his current role as the AI navigator, where he's guiding others through the next great technological shift. Okay, let's dive into Act 1. This starts way back in 1979, getting hands-on with the absolute fundamentals of communication tech. And look, this isn't just a first job, it's the foundation for everything that's going to come later.
So his journey began as a radio technician. And this wasn't about sitting in a classroom reading textbooks. This was about being in the trenches, maintaining the vital infrastructure of radio networks. He was fault-finding, repairing circuit boards, and really honing that practical problem-solving mindset right from day one.
And right here is where we see that early adopter instinct really kick in. Long before most of us could even imagine having a phone in our pocket, he was working on the tech that would eventually make it happen. He was literally at the forefront of the mobile revolution before it even had a name.
All right, leaving the technician's bench behind, Act 2 is a major, major leap. He's not just fixing circuits anymore. He's navigating the world of corporate leadership, where the responsibilities and, the stakes are on a completely different level.
Just think about this transition for a second. He went from the super precise, detailed work of a technician to managing these massive, complex business strategies as an executive manager. We're talking sales, inventory, even dealing with international currency. It is a huge leap from the micro level of a circuit board to the macro level of a national company.
And this number, it puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? At the absolute peak of his corporate career as part of the executive team at BJ Ball Papers, he was managing a national sales target of $100 million a year. That just shows a total mastery of business operations on a massive scale. But here's the twist. After reaching that corporate peak, he made a very deliberate choice to change direction entirely. This marks a huge turning point, moving from a world of 9-figure revenues to empowering the small business owner.
It's the question anyone would ask, right? Why would you walk away from that level of success and responsibility? Well, the answer really reveals a fundamental shift in what was driving him professionally.
And there's your answer, straight from the source. This wasn't about burnout or just needing a change of pace. It was a purpose-driven decision. He wanted to take everything he learned and make a direct, tangible impact on smaller organizations. And this wasn't some brief detour. It became a whole new 15-year chapter in his life. He dove in deep, coaching hundreds of business owners, and he even founded Real Digital to help them navigate the rise of the internet. So once again, he was right at the forefront, guiding businesses through another major technological shift.
And that brings us to Act 3, his move into artificial intelligence. It might seem like a huge leap, but when you look at his history, it's actually the most logical next step he could possibly take. It's really the culmination of his entire career.
So just like he saw the shift to mobile and then to the internet, he recognized that AI was the next fundamental wave of change. And true to form, he didn't just dabble in it, he dedicated himself to this intensive period of study to understand AI from the ground up. It just reinforces that serial early adopter mindset.
This deep dive led to his current venture, AI Navigator. And the name itself is just perfect. He's not just selling a product, he's applying his decades of experience to guide small businesses through the often confusing, often overwhelming world of AI implementation. And this just shows you how practical his approach is. He doesn't start with these complex, expensive overhauls. Nope. Instead, he focuses on the low-hanging fruit, implementing existing AI tools for some quick wins. Then, once those are in place, he moves on to custom solutions, delivering value at every single stage.
And this right here, this is the thread that ties it all together. The methodical, logical, critical thinking that you needed to diagnose a faulty circuit is the exact same skill set you need to design an efficient AI workflow. It's about understanding a system, identifying the bottlenecks, and then creating a solution. The technology has changed, sure, but that core problem-solving process, it's exactly the same.
You know, Rick Wallace's journey from radio waves to AI is just a masterclass in adaptation, and it kind of leaves us with a question to think about in our own careers. If we stay curious and we keep learning, what technological frontier is truly out of our reach?
Reach out to Rick to discuss your AI strategy.